Goonies, how are you feeling about the election these days?
I don't know about you, Cuñis, but I feel like this whole election kind of was like a telenovela. Like,
honestly, it's giving
like dramatic. Like,
vibes.
una telenovela bien dramática.
Yeah, and you know how telenovelas are really long and like really
capítulos
played out. And there's new
and
characters joining in.
Like 200 episodes.
Like long and like you don't know what's gonna happen next.
I'm sorry, but Trump getting shot in the ear was not in my bingo card.
Like,
I had no clue. It's like, that was like out of left field, literally.
Yeah, I kind of
literally
forgot
left
that
field
happened.
because I think that guy was on the left.
But this is why we're going to be educating ourselves with this new segment called La Vota. We will cover the important topics, talk to some well-informed, educated people, and poke fun at these ridiculous moments of this election because they're bound to happen. I mean,
for sure.
They're already happening.
I get there's serious matters, but also there's memeable things that are happening, you know? Like,
listen, I'm finally excited because for the longest time I've been sitting and I feel trapped watching these white guys in power, having control, making big decisions that honestly really impacts me, my family, my community, our community, and I feel frustrated.
I'm gonna confess, like, I was one of those people that was literally like, oh, like, why vote? If California, we're in California. If California is gonna be blue, why vote? I like, why am I gonna go waste my time? That's what I thought. But no, it's not like it shouldn't be like that. Literally, you need to make your voice heard. I can't let other people dictate how I want my life to be. You know, it affects the people we love. I have family members that are immigrants. Yeah. You know, and it's gonna affect them. And
for my future children, I know I'm far from being a mom, but this is, you know, about the future and what's to come.
The future for sure. I mean, did you watch the final night at the DNC? That was
I was actually gonna ask you about it. I watched the DNC and I feel like I finally got to meet Kamala. First of all, major Tia vibes.
Yeah, she was giving Tia,
yeah,
for sure.
A little bit of school principal vibes too.
yes. Oh yeah, like the cool
school principal gets things actually happening.
Yes.
She means business. Did you see Little John?
Oh yeah.
Lil Jon was going off when it came to Georgia casting their vote for Madame Kamala Harris. The European mind truly cannot comprehend this moment.
Yeah.
Can't comprehend a lot of things
I don't know
that
what's
go
going on here, but I feel like very, like I missed out.
Both Obama's speeches were incredible. They were big moments. Yeah. And Michelle killed it and went scorched earth. And Obama, he had jokes.
Oh. What kind of jokes?
BDE. He has, but not the other guy.
Oh.
Yeah, I mean, if you know what I'm talking about.
I think I know what you're talking about. Oh, okay, Obama, I see you. Oh my God.
And something that was really not cute, and honestly, they should wipe it from the internet. Bro, JD Vance's bad haircut.
Who let him go out like that?
I don't know, but clearly he needs love in his life. Honestly, someone who does look good in 4K. Did you see Miss Kamala Harris?
I did.
Her fits, her everything, her aura.
Yeah.
She's looking amazing. Hey, honestly, for me, it wasn't about her looks. It was her confidence, everything she was saying. Her speech was truly amazing. It moved me. It moved my mommy, my papi. And it honestly got us a little teary-eyed in La Sala last night. And all this just sitting at home on the couch with my parents. I just can't even imagine how it was in person. But luckily, we actually had some friends of the show who were there. So I guess they're going to tell us about it. Well, we'd like to welcome our very own Sandra Cordero. How are you? Hi.
I am so happy and so tired because I've had the privilege of being here in Chicago for the past couple of days, and it's been emotional and wonderful and joyful. The after parties were real fun, and the convention itself was great. So it's been great. And now I'm ready to go to mi casita in LA.
Yes, la casita. So you were actually at the DNC. I mean, I felt it from my sala, watching it with my parents. The energy, it felt like it was there. How was it in person?
The energy was incredible. It was undescribable unless you were in the room. I think, but I think it translated really well onto television, and sort of what I'm reading online and what I'm hearing from people, all the texts I was getting from like my mom, my sister, friends from all over the country. It was just really beautiful, really unifying. There were a lot of really genuine moments that were, I know the theme of the convention and the campaign and sort of the moment we're in is joy. There were also a lot of really genuine, beautiful, frankly devastating moments. I don't know if you recall, there was a lot of gun violence survivors that spoke about their experiences, and mothers of the anti-gun violence movement that spoke, and there was not a dry eye in the house, nor should there be. That's, I think, our country's shame. And that was incredibly moving and really grounding as to why we're there, not just to party and celebrate. And, we really need to remember that our politicians and our policies affect people's lives.
Wow.
And whose speech do you think like hit the hardest for you?
Michelle Obama, incredible. Better than her husband. And I worked for her husband for a long time. And better than her husband. And he felt it too, right? Like, you're like, okay, I will do whatever, And then Tim Walz was incredible, but then Oprah upstaged him, like she was incredible as well and super moving. Amanda Gorman was incredibly moving. And even though she was sing, she was beautiful and moving. And then, future President Harris I think she hit every single point. I loved all the personal stories. Vice President Harris's speech it touched on every single point. I think it makes a point that she's ready to be president on like day 0, and also that she's a human, and she talked about her family. I thought that was beautiful. And as also a first generation oldest daughter, I was like, yes, girl, I feel all of those things when you're talking about your immigrant mom and your sister and the responsibility and beautiful, complicated relationships that we have to our families.
Absolutely. It felt very real life. And I think that's so important. Where can we keep staying informed?
I think we can keep staying informed on Me Too, right?
True. That is true. We got La Vota up in here.
La Vota
and las botas.
Link in bio, and we'll be talking all things
Election
election
2024, baby.
Presidential election 2024.
That's right. So I think that's a great place to be informed. And thank you all for everything that you do.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you, Sandra.
Thank you.
Good luck on your flight.
Talk to you soon.
Your trip
Bye.
back.
Yeah, safe travels.
Safe travels. Take care.
Hey, Jorge, how are you doing?
I am tired, but I'm still processing a lot of the joy, but also lots of different feels that came up this week. So yeah.
I also heard too that there was like a lot of chisme on a certain celebrity showing up yesterday.
Yes.
How was the chisme on the ground floor, and did any chisme was actually true?
Yeah, no, we were all convinced. People were saying it was going to be Beyonce or Taylor Swift
Yes.
were going to come out. I don't know where they got Taylor from, but Beyonce sounded promising since Kamala Harris keeps, go walking out to the song Freedom.
Yeah.
And some folks were saying, oh, they just played Freedom, or they just played the song in rehearsal. So people were thinking it was Beyonce's rehearsal.
And did you meet any like celebs or politicians?
Not celebrities, unfortunately. But I did meet two. I met Senator Elizabeth Warren.
Oh.
She's an icon.
Yeah.
So that was really, really
deal.
awesome. I also met the U.S. Secretary of Health and Human Services. That matters to me because I think he's also Latino.
Yeah.
And was just able to chat with him. I've been in spaces with him before, just doing some of that advocacy I do. So it was cool to see him there again too.
Yeah, and I think it's special when you see other Latinos in a space
Oh, for sure.
that maybe we're not used to being in. It's kind of like, hey, we're here and we're meant to stay and
Stay
be
for so
here in the
long.
future.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think in a previous speech I heard of his, he was talking about being first gen too. So I feel like just knowing he was first gen and he's there, there's always like that kind of like inner child me that's like, oh my gosh, yes, like you get it.
Yep.
So that was cool.
Yeah. I also saw that you highlighted the Uncommitted National Movement. What exactly was happening?
So the Uncommitted National Movement on Instagram, they're Uncommitted MVMT, I believe. But essentially, they're a group of delegates who, had their right to be there, and they were representing their respective states. And essentially they were there organizing and connecting and facilitating pressers and conversations with one simple goal, which is to simply organize and call for a ceasefire and show that, hey, we as delegates are here and we would like to see a ceasefire in Gaza and for the Palestinian people. And essentially their goal, again, is to sort of band arms and say, we want to vote. We are Democrats. We want to vote for Vice President Kamala Harris to be President Kamala Harris. But in order to get there and in order to really get our vote, we need you to take a firmer stance on a ceasefire. So that's what they were there doing.
How do you feel about Kamala's remarks towards Gaza?
I think Kamala Harris in her statement was definitely trying to appeal towards a lot of moderate voters, right? And I think historically the U.S. and relationship with Israel has been one that's the U.S. has really prided itself in. That is her stance, but I think it was a shame to ignore the millions of people here in the States, her constituents, who aren't just uncommitted voters, who are also voting, and other folks who are not voting. Again, folks from across the political spectrum who are very deeply impacting and are actively grieving the ongoing genocide.
Yeah.
And I think it was a lost opportunity for her to ignore that constituency. And again, that's what the uncommitted delegates were there to say. They were like, hey, we're here and we are representing your constituency. And that's all they wanted to receive, was just to be heard, to be seen. They were asking that for a Palestinian speaker to be included in the programming, and that demand was ignored. So I was personally let down. I know many others were. And personally, as a Boricua, the U.S. has colonized Puerto Rico. My people also deserve to be free. Liberation is all connected globally. It's something that's very personal to me. It's something I really care about. So that's kind of where I come from when it comes to this larger conversation.
Absolutely. I agree.
I agree too. And thank you so much, Jorge. We
Yeah.
really appreciate you coming on the show and for your time. And where can people follow you?
People can follow me on Instagram, TikTok, at Jorge Alvarez. I was inspired by iCarly.
Iconic.
Thank you.
Thank you so
Jorge.
much, Jorge.
Thank
We really
you.
appreciate you coming on and sharing about your experience. Look forward to staying tuned in as this election season continues.
I mean, it was really nice talking to them and seeing what really happened at the DNC.
Yeah.
I know you watched on TV. I missed it completely, but I like how they both kept it real.
Yeah.
I loved Sandra's enthusiasm with everything, and I like how Jorge too, he kept it real with things that he wants to see, I guess, them do better in.
I totally agree. It also gave me more insight on what's actually going down and helped me feel a little more aware.
Of course.
So be sure to keep tuning in to La Vota. This is Daniela.
And I'm Jenny. And see you next time.